Hey guys, and in this video covering the OCR A-level psychology specification, we are going to talk about the effective control, that be perceived control or actual control, on stress response. Now, I first want to say, as I always do when I start these videos, that I know some of you aren't interested in our psychology videos, and you're just here for tech videos. There's more of those coming soon, but I want to shoot these because they help me to revise, and hopefully if you're doing this specification, or it'll help you to revise, or if you just have an interest in psychology in general, this might be interesting to you. Now, the first thing I do want to say, as I say in all these health videos, because this particular video covers the health and clinical option, I'm covering crime, forensic psychology, and sport and health in these videos. I'm actually doing sport at my college. You cover two options. I'm actually doing sport at my college, but I'd rather do health. So I'm doing health independently. What that means is I'm not getting any teaching support from college to do this. So therefore, you kind of use these videos at your own risk if you're using them to revise them. There might be stuff I've missed out, not necessarily of the forensic ones, but of the health ones. So with that little precursor out of the way, we're just going to get into this now. Like I said, we're going to talk about the effective perceived control on stress response, and it's kind of weird because if you look at the specification for this course, in the specification, it has this down as an example of a physiological only measurement of stress. So that's what they're really interested in as far as the specification is concerned. But this experiment is actually about a physiological measurement of stress. So with that said, let's talk about the study. It was done by Gear and Maisel in 1972, and their aim was to see if either perceived control or actual control influenced a participant's response to adverse stimuli. And what they used as an example of adverse stimuli was responses to car crashes. So they believe that's going to be a natural thing that's going to get you stressed, has an amount of ecological validity, and you're going to want to escape that situation. So that's going to evoke a stress response. So that's the stimuli that they used. It was also a laboratory experiment done on 60 undergrads psychology students from New York University. So right there we've got, looking at this from an evaluation perspective, we've got two problems there. One, ethnocentrism, only people from New York University, so it might only apply to people that live in New York, for example. And we've also got the fact that they're psychology students, so they may be specific type of people and not representative of the overall population. So 60 students, and it was an independent measures design experiment. And what that means is each participant was assigned to one condition or one group. They each experienced a different set of circumstances. And what were the three conditions? What were the three sets of circumstances? Well, this experiment was about control. So group one. Hang on, let me just set the scene a bit. What they did was individually they showed each participant photos of car crashes on a projector for I'll have to look at my notes for this, for 35 seconds, and there was a 10-second tone before the photograph was displayed. Each participant was tested in a quiet room wired up to GSR and heart rate monitors. what's the GSR? Well, it's a galvic skin response monitor. Basically measures your 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 skin conduction. So apparently we conduct a high amount of skin when a high amount of electricity across the skin when we're stressed. Before the experiment was started, I've got down here that or the galvic skin response was calibrated for 5 minutes, so they would have a baseline of comparison for each participant do it. So quite a controlled experiment. What did they actually do? I started talking about the groups earlier. They gave Group 1 actual control. So Group 1 knew when it was going to be because there was a tone, and they had the opportunity to press a button before even before it came on, so they could skip through all the images and skip through the stressful situation. Group 2 had were told when it was going to be, but they couldn't do anything about it. So they knew what they were going to see and could kind of psych themselves up, but they had no control over it. And Group 3 were told that occasionally they'd hear tones and see photographs, but they weren't told any more information than that. So Group 3 had the least control. Let's talk about the GSR measurements, because they were also attached to an ECG, but those measurements I've got in here. It says in one of the revision materials I'm using that they appear to be inconclusive, so they were discounted. So the GSR measurements, the galvic skin response measurements, were taken 3 times for each photograph for each person.
It's 12 hours.
Once at the onset of the warning tone, once in the second half of the tone, and once when they actually had the picture. So that means they get the participants' anticipation and how they actually respond to the picture. And obviously they've got the baseline measurement we were talking about before when it was calibrated for 5 minutes. So that's that, and so each photograph was shown flashed up for 35 seconds, unless of course you were in the actual control group who could get rid of it whenever they wanted. Let's talk about some results. I'll just have to get my notes up for this. So as I've already said, ECG measurements were discounted because they appeared to be inconclusive. And Group 2, the predictability group, the group that knew when it was gonna happen but couldn't do anything about it. Predictably, they were the most stressed because they knew what they knew they were going to feel bad, but they couldn't do anything about it. The control group, and that not being the experimental control group, as we'd have in most research, in this context, that means the group that were given actual control over how long they saw the stimuli for, they were the least stressed, and they were least stressed in groups 1 and 2. Groups 2 and 3 who didn't have control. remember, group 1 is the actual control group. Group 2 is the people that knew it was going to happen, knew when it was going to happen, but couldn't do anything about it. And group 3 are the people that knew that it was going to happen at some point, but didn't know when. So group 1 were the least stressed. Group 2 were the most stressed, and group 3, those that knew it was going to happen at some point but didn't know when, were kind of in the middle. And so it goes. The actual control group, the group with no control whatsoever, and then the predictability group going from least to most stress. So that's the experiment in a nutshell. And the electrodes for the heart rate monitors and the galvanic skin response monitors were attached to the participants' non-preferred arm. So if you're right-handed, they attached them to the left of your forearm. So that's also something to bear in mind. They concluded that having actual control reduces your stress response. So the more control you have, the less stress you'll be. Okay, let's talk about some evaluation issues, because we know a big chunk of the mark scheme talks about issues and debates. So it was a lab experiment, so therefore low in ecological validity, but you could argue that you need a lab experiment to be able to use all that equipment. High level of control. They were each in a shielded room, because so that no data from the projector or the sound equipment could interfere with the measurements. And you've also got a high degree of inter-rater reliability there, because all the participants are on the same machine, and they can't influence the data collection that way. You could have some reductionism issues, because obviously you're only taking physiological measurements, so that doesn't explain the reasons for the measurements. It's not like Joe Hansen et al., where they combined the two and got a questionnaire and said, why are you feeling like this? They know what the participant's response is, but they don't know why. So there might be some issues with reductions in there, trying to suggest that it's just physiological factors. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. There could be things that I've missed out, because I'm just trying to do this on my own and sort of do the best I can. But that's Gier and Maisel, 1972. The effective perceived control or actual control in response to adverse stimuli. So that's your video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. My website address is down below here somewhere. tom-rogers.com. Got a whole bunch of interesting stuff over there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.